Did you know this came from me?
I got a note from JD that said, Miley wants to come on. And I assume that was JD saying, we want Miley to come on.
No, because I don't want anyone talking about every album of mine without me being able to tell you why certain things were the way that they were. And then, I think that it's JD. I'll just answer.
Yeah.
JD, I'm on the podcast talking about every album that I've ever done. Can I call you back? You're on the podcast. Huh?
Oh, shit. I thought it was 31.
Oh, it was.
Okay.
It just started at 12:35.
But
JD.
Chanel went fast, so we're here.
Okay.
I was eager. Bye, JD. So for those listening, if you keep this part, that's my manager, JD,
Yes,
who is the best,
he is.
who has only been my manager for my past 2 albums, which I think they're my best 2 albums. So there's something to be said about JD's magic. I mean,
Yeah.
you know JD.
He's got a great set of ears.
That's how I got here. And more than anything, he actually has a real brain and a real heart.
Yes.
Wow.
So the ears, I don't even almost need quite as much because I got
You have
those.
ears. Yeah.
It's him. It's first of all, his greatest strength is that he just doesn't get in the way. And that's why I've been able to make the last 2 albums the way that they were, or envisioned, which some of these, which is why I want to be on the podcast, is like some of these feel like, they're me playing a game of going, well, I could probably get a lot more of what I want if I do a couple things that they want. Because as long as a record label has a single or 2, they really don't care about the rest of the album. And I only learned that really with Flowers. Because
Single
after
or 2 has never been your problem.
Flowers, I was like, oh, I could have JD actually was the one that said, you could have made 12 handstands, which is my favorite song on the album. And he's like, because as long as you have Flowers, and I didn't totally get that until Endless Summer Vacation, that as long as you always have these, Part in the USA, something that, a label or the radio can play with while you make the body of work. But I think I even, I compromised in places more so than I actually needed to in certain times. So that's where I wanted to talk to you about, to go like, okay, that was my bad idea. I have bad ideas. I've had a couple of them. You may have even noticed. But some of them aren't mine.
Yes.
So I'm not, I'm not taking the ones that aren't mine anymore.
We're going to talk about this because I think you have definitely made your best album. I don't think it's a debate,
Thank
at least
you.
not with us.
Thank you. I feel that way.
But I think that to understand why it's your best album, you actually have to understand the whole journey that you've been through.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I want to make sure we get out of you today is you just told us about sort of feeling like you needed to trade off with the label. I've heard you talk a lot about how you understand the business that you're in. But I wonder if in those moments you understood the power that you actually had. Because there have been moments where you've had crazy flexes.
Right.
Dead Petz seems like a
That's one of my favorite
ridiculous
albums.
fucking
Yeah,
flex.
Thank you.
But that no label really would have understood.
No
And
label put it out.
Well, that's the point.
That's why it was free.
Right. But the idea that you actually, as you went through these albums, felt like you had to horse trade with your label.
I did a show at, I always say it wrong, Bemelman's, because I was calling it Bellamans. I made a joke of like, oh, as vocalists, we warm up saying funny words like, tongue twisters. And so Bemelman's is a really good one.
Bemelman's Bar.
But then by
Bemelman's
the end,
Bar.
I kept saying Bellenman's. And then it became, and the manager of the hotel was in my elevator this morning and goes, do you actually know what the restaurant is called? I was like, yeah, of course I do. Bellamans. And she's like, no, it's Bemelman's. Anyways, I still don't get it. But the reason I do those shows is because no one can be mad at free stuff. Like, if someone gives you a bad Christmas present, whatever.
Right.
It's free. Who cares?
Right.
And so for Dead Petz, I remember just going like, it's free. Like, it's not a problem. Like, the fans, you're getting what you pay for, which is a whole lot of nothing. It's a whole lot of what I like, because the only person that paid for this is me. I bought the little microphone, and I had a garage set up, and that's where I recorded all my vocals, and there was no, producer fees, because Wayne Coyne's making it because he wants to make it, and he's already got all the gear, and,
The drugs were the biggest
the
cost
drugs
item.
were the biggest cost,
Yeah.
which to hide those from my accountant, we called them vintage clothes. And so she would get these
That
checks
happens on touring all the
of
time.
thousands of dollars worth of vintage clothes.
Yeah.
And every time she saw me, she'd be like, where's that $15,000 original John Lennon t-shirt that you bought? It's like, oh, it's upstairs. Would you like some?
Yeah.
We just really want to protect it. It's really delicate, the fabric. Got to take care
So
of
I
it.
bought a lot of vintage clothes that year.
It's amazing.
How are you right now in this moment? Is this week, it's out, you've given birth to this thing.
Yeah.
Is it
truly.
a relief? I
It's
mean, like
a
you've
relief.
been in
I'm
ways
really
we
glad
haven't
I can
seen
stop
you for a
working
while.
on it now because it's starting to get. It's not
Right.
going to get better. It's going to get worse. Sometimes when you work on something for too long, you just make it worse.
Right.
And I felt us going in that direction. We had like maybe 4 last sessions as we were tying this all together. And I have a couple more songs that weren't quite done in time, so we're doing it as a deluxe. And as we started working on the deluxe songs, we were like, maybe we should revisit track 7. And we were only
No.
making it worse.
No.
So I'm happy to be rid of it for now in that regard.
But as a child of those last vestiges of the music business where we counted things and numbers mattered, can you sit there this week and know that you just made your best record and detach yourself a little bit from the quantitative bullshit? Like the critical reviews of this are awesome.
Yes.
Like you're getting a whole lot of love. But is there anxiety this week? Like, are you still watching the scoreboard?
Well, it's a yes and no. And the reason why it's a yes is because this project, I put a lot of pressure on it just by its scale and its size. And because the film component was originally kind of meant to be like an arty little thing that I was making with Panos Cosmatos. But, he made Beyond the Black Rainbow for like, $1.5 million, or I think Mandy was like under $4 million or whatever. But Nicolas Cage's glam isn't near as expensive as mine.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, that's what JD was saying. He was like, you don't understand that like, making a movie doesn't have to be that expensive, but making it with you in the way that you see it, with like archival Terry Mugler and the
Every hair being in the right place.
every
as
hair
you've
being
said.
right. It's exactly every strand of everything being this like kind of meticulous. And the reason why I wanted to do that was because I do think that we're in this world right now of fast and a lot. Like I want everything right now. Everything is prime. If it doesn't have like a 2-hour shipping,
Right.
we're done with it. We'll move on to the next thing that does have the 2-hour shipping. And I wanted to be in this world right now where everything is kind of fast and a little low quality in regards to just the way when you make something fast, it just can't be its highest quality. I'm not shading this table, but a little bit.
Yeah,
I have a feeling this is
You don't want it to be disposable. We were actually
Uh,
expressly told to not bang on the table, and
Because
I
it's
like
gonna
that we have
crack in
disregarded that.
It's
really,
gonna
really
crack in
quickly.
half because it's made out of paper. That's the thing is you can get these things that they look nice and they will do, but they're not really something that you're
They're
gonna pass
last.
down. Like my grandmother's cherry oak armoire that's made it from like 1890 because it's of quality. So it's like my grandma's not that old, but it was her
Yeah.
grandma's.
Yeah.
I can do some math,
But
which
the-
by the way, we're going to talk about your math because your 7 things math is
Thank
wrong.
you.
You're right.
Thank you.
Come
thank
on.
You,
We're gonna
talk about
thank
it.
you. Thank you,
We're going to talk
Miley.
about it. It's 7 things. Like I counted.
Really?
No, because you're splitting up like you got it right. You're
It's a
splitting the
concept.
lines
They're
up.
ideas? It's a
They-
concept of a plan?
I wrote this down.
You have it right. It's 7 fucking things.
It's you're saying like you're saying having friends one thing.
Right, it's not like
jerks, 2 things. That's
one.
one thing.
It's one thing. It's like your friends are
like
jerks.
fuck
That's
this
did
guy.
you-
He's
one
got
thing.
jerky friends.
Did you write all 7 of those things?
Yes, I wrote all 7 of those things. They're all real
Fuck.
things. And I did the math.
Someone's never
many
gone out
losses.
with a man.
Exactly.
One of many losses I'm going to take
Your
today.
friends, they're jerks when you act like them. It hurts. That's one thing. You act like them and it hurts. 2 things. It's one thing.
It's because one creates the other. It's all.
To me,
it's
it
a
was you
united
made me
concept.
laugh, you made me cry. I don't know.
That's
which-
one.
Right, because it's about the
That's
back
one.
and forth.
The laughing isn't the problem. It's the fact that like you're not all bad. You don't ever stay with someone because they're all bad.
Right.
It's like you stay with someone because there is this glimmer of like you make me laugh, but on the other hand, you make me cry. I don't know which side to buy. You're confusing
Emotional roller coaster.
emotional roller coaster. That's one thing. Anyways, this conversation's never going to be linear because we're going to go from talking shit about
It's
this
great.
table to
It's totally fine. I mean, it's over. That one,
Talking
I
shit
guess
about
you
your math.
fucking put to bed. Great.
Uh-huh.
Another loss. My math is
Mhm.
terrible.
your math is off. But anyways, your question was about the numbers and do I
Yeah.
still focus on it? And it's like for right now in the kind of closing of what I feel like I'm doing, I don't think I will do something again that has this much pressure
The
at this
rollout
much
and
scale and the
yeah.
rollout. But it was one final like last lap for me, and because after Flowers, I kind of had the motivation, to do it because I got the little, I'm sober, but I have addictive qualities,
Yeah.
and so like I got my Flowers, as you
Yeah.
so cleverly put. And then I'm like, okay, I would like one last bouquet, if you will.
To
And
go with
now
an
I realize
album?
that like Flowers you know, it again, we call it the unicorn. It's like this, you know, once in a lifetime kind of thing. And it's throughout my like journey, I've had these other unicorns, but they weren't a unicorn that I created in the way that Flowers was. So I felt like I had this little new motivation and this new kind of like fire behind me, and I really put it behind this project. But the reason I'm kind of going so hard is because I don't plan on doing that again. Because I'm so.
It's enough already?
I think it's enough for me doing it this way. It's not enough of me of the music. It's not enough for me of like creating these like universes that I invite people into. I'm
Right.
sure I'll end up doing that again. I'm actually,
You seem to be addicted to that.
I am. I'll show you on my phone. Another thing that we can find that's really fun is the track list for my next album.
See, you're a maniac on this.
Look, I already have all 12 songs.
Why do you do this to us?
Because I just love it so much.
But
And I even
every
have
time.
a playlist, which I do use Spotify, of what, and my fans are going to hack my account, of this is my album, like in track list order of how I want it to feel. And then I've put all my songs
Like a
that
mood
are
Notes
board?
app.
doing
Notes
that,
app.
like a
She's
mood
pulling us
board.
notes app.
So this is it. I only keep my music on the
But
notes
why
app.
do you do
That's
this?
amazing.
Every time you put out an album, you did
I
this
move
on
on.
Younger Now, you did this. Yeah, you're like, I'm 2 songs deep into my next one before we've even heard
Because it always takes too fucking long.
it. Is it a defense mechanism though? Because you're worried people
No,
aren't
it's
going to
not.
like it?
Everyone takes too long, and I hate marketing.
It's not where you are as an artist? Like, I get
I
it.
despise marketing. I'm like, why does it take so fucking long? Like,
Right.
why? Like the day that I shoot the cover, I could have turned that album art out
Push it
in an
out.
hour. Just put it out.
Just go.
Like
Right.
when the song was done, Something Beautiful was done 2 years ago. Like I wanted to drop it.
Yeah.
I wanted to drop it. And when Beyonce was looking for, I'm always trying to like, I need to quit. For some reason, I like think I'm Beyonce's A&R. And when I wrote Something
It seems
Beautiful,
like-
I'm like,
Yeah.
just do that. Like,
Right.
I know you're making a country record, but you should make a rock album too. People love when you do that.
Which she probably is.
Well, Act 3.
Yeah.
That's what I
maybe.
heard.
Yeah.
And I was going to give her Something
That's what I
Beautiful, and
heard.
then I kind of fell in love with it, and then I hoarded it. But I'm always kind of like, if I can't get something out fast enough, I'm like, who's in an album cycle so they could throw this on as like track 11 deluxe so it can just go away from me, because it's going to be old. Time moves too fast, and that's my problem with technology, is that it's moving so fast that the old way of doing things can't keep up. So for my thing is not actually that I'm moving so fast or I'm defensive against the project that I'm making and I'm trying to kind of avoid the project by moving on to the next one. It's just that everyone takes too long.
So it's never been a defense mechanism. It's never been sort of a
No.
disavowal of...
It's a part of like probably an attention deficiency
Yeah.
disorder of some sort. Even though I don't have ADD, I'm pretty focused. I'm more OCD. Like I'm more like, this is probably more of an obsession
Yeah.
than like I'm distracted from what I'm doing.
And you've
And
got
I'm
into
listening to
the
music
next
all the
thing.
time. And
Yeah.
the reason that I already have these songs